on the attempted header. There's the ball goes out. Tremendous action for Houston as Danny Gearling overlapped on the left side. Hoskeby holding the pace of the attack until Gearling could get in that area. Played it across. A good chance for Houston.
All right, Houston comes in the attack. Anderson in the box off the foot of Hoskeby. Julie B is running free in the middle. They can get him the ball, and Jungle is taken down. And he's taken down in the box. That's a 2-minute penalty on Jump, and I believe they're going to also award a penalty kick. I'm not sure, but I thought I saw the referee point at the spot. He was either pointing at the spot or at the player, Stuart Jump. Let's watch it, Kyle.
Here we see it again. There's the hold right there, the foul. Jump is going to call that the penalty was outside.
It was outside the box because it doesn't matter where the player ends up. It's where the foul was committed. It was actually outside the box, and the replay showed it. And the referee had the right call.
Once again, superb camera work for our crew here. You can see it all the way. Foul called outside the box as our referee Hans Schwink places the ball.
All right, New York with a man advantage. Sutevsky, Chilla, who has scored a goal. Luis Alberto, and broken up by Palahan to DeLong. DeLong trying to clear it, but Chilla picks it off to Luis Alberto. Alberto back to Sutevsky on the right. DeLong comes to Markham. Sutevsky got away from him. A hard left-footed shot went into the crowd.
Goal kick, Houston.
New York having a little bit of trouble getting the ball to their two most skilled players, Jungle and V, on the power play.
Jump in the penalty box for a holding. We have 1:39 to go on that penalty, and Poole clears the ball. Chilla quickly to Sutevsky. Damir Sutevsky now. To Luis Alberto. To the great Steve Jungle. Sutevsky tried to cross it in front. It was blocked down by Jimmy Palahan, who heads it away and takes off after with Chilla. And they go back to Messing. That was dangerous. Boy, that ball could have bounced right by him into the goal. But Messing made the play. Now it's Alberto outside the box. And to Chilla. Sutevsky comes right through the Jungle, hit the crossbar. Jungle pulled the trigger.
Excuse me, ball bounced a little bit at his feet. He wanted to pull it sooner. They got the ball to him, and Jimmy Palahan has just made for Houston and gone off because he made 2 full field runs chasing that ball down. Referee with a one hand up indicating it's going to be a kick in, and the ball will have to touch another player before it can count. Kick in given to Houston.
All right, Messing gets it to Chilla. Now here's Luis Alberto. New York with a man advantage for the next 53 seconds, unless they score. Alberto, 47 seconds. Chilla to Sutevsky in the right boards. Now back to Chilla. Here's Jungle. Back to Sutevsky. Jungle couldn't get around Gearling. Alberto couldn't cross it in front. The ball cleared by Houston. Greg Delgado in the game on the defense now for Houston, number 5. Here's Julie V at the point. Here's Chilla on the wing. Here's the cross in front. DeLong got it away from the area. Delgado couldn't clear because V was there. 13 seconds on the penalty. Here's Julie to Luis. Alberto to Chilla. Wines couldn't get it very well. Delgado clears. It looks like they're going to kill this penalty. They do. And out comes Stuart Jump. We're at even strength now. 3:45 to play, third period. It's a 5-2 game. Jungle denied. A good defensive play by Anderson. And Jump, a back heel for Anderson with 3:35 to play, third period. Houston's got to get a goal here pretty soon to get back into this thing, Kyle.
Well, they're still within 3, and as we've seen New York do against Pittsburgh, they scored 3 goals in 38 seconds in our other semifinal playoff game. So anything is possible.
Stremlau just came in off the bench and missed the shot right off the mark. Shep didn't see that quickly enough. And a foul on Anderson. He fouls Jungle, who puts it in play right away. And there's a return pass for Jungle from B. Shot, what a leg save by Poole. What a great play. B and Jungle really read each other beautifully that time, and Poole came up big again. Here comes Dale Russell. They've got a 3-on-2 if they hurry. Hoskeby, they don't hurry. They're not doing things quickly enough, Houston, on the offense, Kyle.
They got caught up there. You want to get the ball generally in the middle as you do in a basketball 3-on-2 break, and they didn't do it that time because they had 2 players on the right side and only 1 in the middle.
Anderson, a tower of strength and defense, and he's also scored a goal today. Jump off the boards to Dale Russell, the Bermudan. Back to Stuart Jump. He played in the English League. Johnny Strumlau, the St. Louis kid, back to Jump. Kai Haskiri of Finland, and off the boards. Control by Val Tooks, the tough defender. And now a long lead for Julie B. Stremlau with him at the corner, and Stremlau made the play as he screened B off. And Alberto breaks it up. B loses, Jump, miskicked it. Julie has it knocked away by Stremlau. Tooks always there. Boy, is he tough. Stremlau and Tooks collided at the boards. Streniser came off with the ball to Alberto. Minute 45 to play the 3rd period. New York on top 5-2. This one for all the marbles, the championship game. V, great work. Alberto, save again, Mick Poole. Can't say enough about Mick Poole, Kyle.
He has really kept this team in there. Houston giving up too many 3-on-2 fast breaks and 2-on-1s. Not part of their game plan, to be sure. They've tried to go man-to-man all over the field, the type of defense that Pittsburgh has played.
Hoskeby had a little bit of room there, and they didn't get much of a shot off. And Jungle and Palahan just knocked him down. Palahan just knocked Steve Jungle down. Jungle's been on his back as much as he's been on his feet today.
Well, I listened to Kenny Cooper before the game, and he did not want his players to lose their cool. Jimmy Palahan did here. He felt he was being fouled and pushed off by Jungle. Rather than waiting for the call, he takes care of business himself, throws Jungle to the ground. Clearly, it'll be at least 2 minutes for pushing.
All right, Palahan gets 2, but as you saw on the replay, the reason that he did that, I think, was that you saw Jungle's left hand come out. He was trying to push him off, and then Palahan retaliating just threw him down. There's nothing the official could do but to give him that 2-minute penalty because it was so blatant and obvious.
I know Jimmy will regret that. Former teammate of Jungle's, Palahan played for the Arrows last year.
Palahan regretted a foul also in the last regular season game, that 3-2 game that he committed to, because it gave New York a penalty, and that tied the game, and New York ended up winning it. Jimmy's a good hard player, though. And cleared. I thought that was going to hit the scoreboard. It did. No, it's an offside pass.
It's against Houston. Indirect free kick, New York.
Jungle trying to hit it one time, and knocked it into the crowd, but it was last touched by Ian Anderson. It's going to be corner kick.
Corner kick, New York.
Streniser was denied a good defensive play by DeLong. Now Branko Zagoda, who scored, gets it in. Branko hasn't played much with that hamstring problem, but he still was good enough to score a great goal. Harshani back to Branko Zagoda. 27 seconds to play in the period. 1 minute 13 in the penalty. Here's Branko. Good pass across field. A little bit too much speed on it, too much pace. Streniser. Shot off the goalpost. Branko, a great save. What a save by Poole.
Poole deflecting the ball off against the boards, and Zagoda, no one hits the ball harder than Zagoda.
I can't believe he got his hand up that quickly. And I can't believe he still has his hand on his arm. Streniser now, New York applying pressure. 1 second in the period. That's it. That's the end of 3 periods of play in the championship game, and the Arrows add another goal to their 4-2 halftime lead. Now at the end of 3 quarters, the score New York 5 and Houston 2. And we'll be back with the start of the 4th quarter in just a moment.
By calling the Arrows office at area code 516 NYARROW. Tickets for the season are sold on a first-come, first-served basis. Be sure to call the Arrows office at NYARROW. Here are some more groups at the Coliseum this evening. The Hiawatha School PTA, the group from Pan American Airlines, WCSY, North Belmore and Plainview, the PVC of Nassau County, Doubleday Company, the Hempstead Knights of Columbus, the Julie V Fan Club,
There'll be
Boy
nothing
Scout
on the
group
screen.
number 888.
There'll be nothing on the screen.
The
just
Demir
reading.
Satevsky Fan Club. The Nassau Community College students here this evening. The Bayshore Soccer Club. The Renato Chilla Fan Club. The Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Nassau County. The Forest Hills Soccer Club. The Flushing Soccer Club. The Little Neck Soccer Club. Temple Beth Torah, Lutheran Church of Resurrection, Rockville Center Soccer Club, the Tibor Molnar Fan Club, the Cold Spring Harbor Soccer Club, the Lindenhurst Soccer Club, the group from Rosie Tours of Bergen.
The New York Arrows have a leg up as they try to defend their championship here at home in the MISL championship game. They lead 5-2 with the fourth period moments away. Another top-notch Thursday night NBA doubleheader will be featured this week on Madison Square Garden Sports, the opener. And I'll be on hand with Johnny McLaughlin to bring you Julius Erving and the rest of the star-studded 76ers against the New York Knicks at Madison Square Garden. Now, this great matchup will be followed by a very big playoff game, a game Portland and San Diego are battling for the last playoff spot in the Western Conference, and they're going to battle head-to-head. You can see that as the second game of the doubleheader. So the Stars will be out next Thursday night at 8:20 Eastern Standard Time. You tune in and watch them shine on Thursday night NBA basketball.
12 shots for a game total of 41. Houston had 5 for a game total of 33.
Fourth period of the championship game, Kyle, 5-2, the Arrows over Houston. What do you think?
Well, the last 15 minutes of the season for both these teams, and Polahan having to go back to the box for another 47 seconds. It gives New York an immediate advantage as we go into the last period of play, but it's been a superb year for both teams, and irrespective of who wins this game today, we can say indoor soccer has been a success both on the field and in the stands.
No doubt about that. It's been a great, great season, and I've loved the association with this league to see great franchises like the St. Louis expansion franchise end up in last place and lead the league in attendance. And a couple 20,000 crowds, 19, 17,000, incredible. Great job done there by that organization. What about that Buffalo team, too? Great end of the season, tremendous off the field and on the field performance. Mike Geraci did a great job up there with that club off the boards, and here's a hard shot. Knocked down. Harshani gets it back to Strenicer. They have the man advantage for 16 more seconds. Segota, Harshani chests it down. Got it to Strenicer. 10 seconds on the penalty. Here's Harshani's pass. Sutevsky kind of shanked it. Segota. Harshani, 1 second. The penalty is over now. Out comes Polahan. Harshani gets it back. Now we're at equal strength. Segota to Harshani, off the board. Sutevsky, we're at equal strength, but it still looks like they have a man advantage, right? And now a foul is going to be called on Geerling. Geerling of Houston fouling Sutevsky.
His father in the stands tonight flew all the way in from St. Louis to watch his son, young man of 21 years old, playing his first championship game.
You know, that Cleveland club is only a couple players away, too. They were a tough club this year. They didn't make the playoffs. But with guys like Clyde Best and Mike Berry, they were a dangerous team. That's going to be a good franchise before it's over as well. A great job done by that Detroit team this year. Terry Fisher, they only missed the playoffs by losing in that overtime game, which we brought you from Houston, that exciting game. Hartford, you know that they're going to be a great franchise. Tremendous sports fans in that area. The Wichita club really came on toward the end. I'll tell you, Houston had their hands full with Wichita even to get here today.
They played 6 games this year, Jim, and every single game was a 1-goal game. 4 of the 6 went into overtime. Could not have been a more competitive rivalry between those two Midwestern cities.
What about that Pittsburgh team? Off to a terrible start, then they won 13 straight. And that's what New York is tied right now, by the way. Excuse me, Kyle. New York has won 13 straight, trying to break the record here today and win a championship. Philadelphia, one of the best franchises in the league. It was Philly and New York, the first couple clubs in that started this thing last year. Benny Alexander's group with the great goal scorer Freddie Gagura, who's out here today. We saw him before the game. Roll back to Messing. So you add it all up, it was an outstanding season. Just a great year. And then with the addition of Denver coming in next year, great ownership, a terrific sports town. Sky's the limit for the MISL. Pass behind Julie V. A shot off the mark. V, a great save by Poole again.
V playing the ball to himself off the back wall with the first shot.
Shot, Strenisser. Save and tap back by Stremlau. Get it out to Hoskevy. They've got something going if they hurry. Hoskevy. Stremlau. Hoskevy off his fingertips, and it trickles back to Messing in a tantalizing sort of way. Jungle got away from jump. Jungle almost knocked Poole out. Jungle got Poole right in the mouth with a shot. And the other way, it's Nicky Mangione. Left-footed shot was deflected, I believe, over the top. No, they say no deflection.
Mickey Poole down at the other end of the field. It seems to be okay, but he was pulling on his teeth trying to see how many might have been loose after that shot. Hazard of the profession, broken fingers, broken hands, and getting hit in the face. And yet Poole stayed in there against one of the toughest shots in the game off the foot of Stevie Jungle.
Shep Messing with a goal kick. Callahan heads it back. Morielli. Alberto wins it. Renato Chilla back to Shep with 11:50 to play in the championship game. Jungle. In his 6th playoff game, in the previous 5, he's had at least a hat trick. He's had 2 here today. Jungle tried to bang it off the boards to himself, I think. Anderson. Molnar, tough customer to Chilla. To McLaughlin. Bad pass. Alberto always seems to get around the ball, Kyle. He's always around the ball.
Well, they really look to him. He's got so much skill that he can turn with his back from a situation with his back to the goal. He can turn it and face it. A lot like Jungle, but I think you also mentioned Molnar and Tuksha and Chilla. Tremendous skill on the ball.
They're a great team, and as we've talked about the great job that the clubs have done in the league this year, let us not forget the 2 clubs that you're watching right now. The New York franchise under the guidance of their president and chairman, John Luciani, has done everything anybody could do to make a sport go. And he has made it here in the New York area by putting together a tremendous team, spending the money to make it a first-class franchise, and it shows, doesn't it? Hard shot by Morielli. And Messing lucky it was a bit off the mark. What a shot by Morielli.
Almost a high post play, a little pick. Morielli played the ball into Anderson and got it right back.
Speaking of Anderson, he's on the ball. Mangione couldn't get it down, and a Messing save. And the great hand-eye coordination of the great goalkeeper from the Arrows. Here comes Molnar the other way. Tibor. Jump, beats him to the ball. Off to Anderson. 9:57 to play in the championship game. New York still on top 5-2. And Houston has not scored in the second half. But we've only had 1 goal in the second half, that by New York. Morielli. Goal! What a great shot by Morielli. And it's 5-3, and this one isn't over yet.
We saw Morelli the last time hit the shot that just went wide. This time, one-on-one. He'll pull it to his left foot. Gets Messing coming to the near post. Messing beat to the far post. Morelli's brought Houston back to within 2 with over 9 minutes to go in this game.
Don't go away. 9:44 to play, an eternity. The Arrows now up by only 2. So each club has scored a goal in the second half. New York at the 4-2 halftime lead.
You know, Jim, the one thing about these players, and particularly those in the final playoff games, the defenders are not just destructive players. They don't just destroy. They have the ability to create. And players like Molnar and Chilla and Strenicher, they can attack. And as we've seen, they score goals, even in the playoffs.
All right, New York with the ball now, trying to protect the 2-goal lead and win their second consecutive MISL championship. Here, Delgado in now for Houston at number 5. This is Kai Hoskevy. Kai hasn't scored today.
Delgado is now in action.
Delgado, draft choice from Stanford University.
Good pass by Hoskevy, comes over here to Jimmy Palahan. Palahan to Stremlau. Hoskevy, a hard shot, banking it off the boards. It wasn't really on goal. I don't think he was trying to hit it on goal. He wanted to get out in front. Now Jimmy Palahan. Houston trying to get closer now. They're down by 2. Hoskevy trying a little back heel for Russell, but didn't do it quickly enough. And Chilla. And it's an offside pass over the 3 lines in the air. It'll be an indirect free kick coming up from Houston, right at the New York red line. Palahan will take it. You know what? Everyone a little nervous out here now in New York because they know it's not over yet, especially since that goal. Hoskevy! Oh, a great chance. Great chance, and Hoskevy hit it high. Second time he's done that today where he's had a great chance and just couldn't keep the ball down, Kyle.
Well, lest we, he didn't hit it the way he wanted it, but the way he turned with the ball to get that shot off in the first place, tremendous execution of skill.
Bad the intercept. And Geerling hit it over the top. Now, the reason the referee didn't call a foul there was because Houston had an advantage there.
And obviously, Geerling was not hurt too seriously. Hoskevy now going off. Anderson coming on. Anderson moving up to play forward now.
Well, that Hoskevy chance, a golden opportunity. He knocks that in the net, and it's 5-4, and it's nervous time here for everyone. It's still pretty close. 5-3 with 8:20 to go in the game, and Houston again picking up since they scored the goal, Kyle.
And we're going to see a different change in attack, a different style of attack. Hoskevy's going to spend much more time, as probably Anderson will, in the box, just trying to take a low post position, let balls be played into him.
Segota is in now, and Don Popovich, the fine coach in New York, is taking Jungle off to give him a little blow, but you'll see Jungle on a lot after he takes that break. Julie V into the ball game now, and V in a defensive posture just rolls it back to Messing, who fires it out for Alberto, and Alberto was just grabbing Mangione from behind. Now they call a foul on New York, on Tuxa. A foul against New York.
Strenicher better be careful. He's complaining. We'll see it again. Right in front of the Houston bench. There's the push.
But this is
well, maybe that wasn't the push that was called. You will see it again. Now he pushes him down with his elbow, the outside of his arm.
Now Tuxa is called for the foul. And now it's a man advantage for Houston.
So Houston, which has scored 2 of its 3 goals on power plays, now has another chance.
All right, Hoskevy came back on the field. Here comes Houston now with a man advantage. Down 5-3, 7:42. Stremlau off the glass. Bouncing shot deflected over the top.
That's a difficult ball for a goalkeeper to save. A good play by McLaughlin to get it up over the glass. Messing already down on the ground on the shot. It could very well have bounced over his head.
Jungo's back in the game. Dorico's in there too with B and McLaughlin. Anderson got it over to Russell. Broken up by Dorico. New York defense did the job that time. Minute 35 to go in the penalty, 7:25 in the game. Kai Hoskeby. Johnny Stremlau on the right, back to Kai. Now to Russell, off the glass, almost an own goal, and finally cleared by McLaughlin. That ball almost deflected in the goal. Now Hoskeby, a minute 15 in the penalty, Kyle, and it's 7:02 in the game.
No rush at all. Hoskeby trying to just make sure they get the shots. You can't guarantee goals, but you should have some good opportunities.
Kai with a shot, off the mark, in front, deflected by DeRico. Here comes Hoskeby. Shot deflected by Jungle. And it belongs to Houston. Last touch by Steve Jungle. Dale Russell to put it in play. 48 seconds on the penalty. 6:35 in the game. Stremlau, shot, a missing save. Mick Poole gets it back to Hoskeby with 35 seconds of the penalty. 6:23 in the game. 5-3 New York. Hoskeby's shot is deflected. Long, back to Kai. Beats Jungle to the ball, and then V steals. 2-on-2 with Jungle ahead. But now Jump gets back to make it 2-on-3. Jungle missed the shot, a good feed. We'll be back with more MISL action.
Russell, he hits it, it deflects. Bounces.
That's Russell's goal. Messing made a gallant try, but just couldn't keep that ball from rolling in. And Dale Russell has brought Houston within one with 5:52 to play in the game. And what a comeback by this Houston club.
Tremendous. Russell, a 4-year All-American in Philadelphia Textile. Grew up in Bermuda. He's going to be an American citizen very soon.
Assist to Stuart Jump.
And Houston has scored 3 of their 4 goals tonight on power play situations. There's Popovich trying to get his team. You saw him shake his fist, meaning stick in, play him hard, play him physical.
Mangione knocked into the crowd. All right, let's set the players for you. For Houston, it's Mangione and Jump and Palahan and Anderson and Morielli against Tuxa. Out of the box now, DeRico, Sutevsky, Jungle, and Luis Alberto. 5-4, the Arrows by only 1. Tuxa plays on the left to DeRico. Mangione broke it up, and it's finally cleared. Headed back by DeRico nicely to Sutevsky. Mangione with him on the boards. A scramble and a foul against Mangione.
Obstruction against Houston. Indirect free kick, New York.
Indirect free kick, New York.
Referee trying to move Mangione back. He's supposed to be 10 feet from the ball. Out to DeRico.
His shot is blocked by Anderson. A battle in the air. Jungle has the ball off the board. Mangione with the scissors couldn't clear it. Palahan chasing Sutevsky to the corner. Sutevsky back to DeRico with 5:05 to play in the game. Now here's Luis Alberto against the tough Stuart Jump. In the box for Sutevsky, broken up by Palahan. But New York keeps it in the zone. DeRico to Luis Alberto. On the right to Sutevsky with under 5 minutes to play in the game. 5-4 New York, a little give and go. Sutevsky off the glass, Jungle a header, cleared. Jungle so dangerous, he almost just came by and flicked out of the net with his head. Alberto, what strength. Shot blocked by Jump. Houston now coming out. Morielli, watch him. Now it's Anderson. Off the mark. A header and a missing save. What an effort by Anderson.
Tremendous 2-against-3 attack by Anderson and Morielli. As we look at Shep Messing trying to set up his defense, pulling them back quickly. Here's another look at it. Well, there's the end of it as the ball had just gone over the top.
All right, corner kick coming up now for Houston. They've made a lot of changes out there. They have Hoskeby back in the game. They have Geerling, Stremlau, Russell, looking for someone to break free. Here's Stremlau, save Messi. What a great save by Shep. And Stremlau was right there. Val Tuxa, he's fighting everyone for the ball. Gearling came off with it, and now they call a foul on Tuxa. Boy, Tuxa's a rough customer.
Boy, it is now, and had they not called that on Tuxa, I'm sure they would have called a foul on Gearling as he kicked a Jungle as he went by.
All right, a loose ball. It's Steve Jungle with it. Knocked away by Johnny Stremla out from behind. And a 50-50 ball is won by Sutevsky to Jungle. Here comes the dangerous Jungle. Let it go! What a shot. He picked that spot out. He picked that corner out, and that's exactly where he hit. He hit a bullseye. Watch this.
He lines the defender up, Gearling. Gets Gearling blocking Poole's view and keeps it low. Hits it hard. Trigger shot. He didn't wind up at all. He just hit it quickly with the outside of his foot. Oh, there's Popovich. Hugging at least half of his franchise right there. Stevie Jungle, 10 playoff goals. And as you said, that's his 6th consecutive hat trick in playoff competition.
And his 100th goal of this season. 90 in the regular season, 10 in the playoffs. Unbelievable. Steve Jungle has given New York a 6-4 lead with 3:51 to play in the game. Don't go away, though. What a tremendous championship game. You know, in the history of sport, you've always looked forward to the big games, but the big games have never always been good games. In fact, quite to the contrary, because so much is at stake, sometimes the big games aren't very well played. I think the Super Bowls throughout the years have not been the best football games, but I know a lot of NBA 7th games of playoffs haven't always been too good either, but today we've seen a great championship game.
Tremendous. Normally coaches tell their players in playoff competition, particularly the final game, just don't make any mistakes. Don't make any silly mistakes. And so consequently players go out, they play so conservatively, they often don't play like they normally do. And as you said, Jim, this is not the case tonight. As we saw from the outset, 3 goals scored in the first 3 or 4 minutes, and that has set the tone for the evening.
I think you have it exactly. I think that these clubs came out, both of them, with the philosophy that we're going to win the championship. We're not going to wait for a break or lay back on defense. We're going to go out and get what we want, and they've both come after each other.
Kick in for Houston, indirect.
You take your best shot, I'll take my best shot, and whoever stays, on their feet wins it. And they've been knocking each other all over the place here today. 6-4. New York on top. Callahan shot into the crowd.
Well, it certainly has been a physical game, but you can't say it has been a skillless game by any means, because we've had a combination of both, and the fans love that. We hope you're enjoying it at home, as you have all the MISL cable games this season.
If you don't like this game, you just don't like sports, because this has had everything. Here's Jungle. So strong. Just stayed on the ball and got a shot away. Most people would have just lost that ball. He not only stays with it, he gets a shot off. Chilla for New York on the defense now. Stewart Jump keeps it in to Hoskeby with 3:07. The Houston Summit taking on the New York Heroes. Roll back to Messing. 3 minutes to play in the game. Chilla, the great defender who's also scored, to the skillful Julie V, to Renato, to that man Jungle. Here he comes. There's a shot off the mark. Left-footed shot. Then Molnar misses. Jungle beats you any way you want him to. Left-footed, right-footed, with the head. Anyway, he just really threw a tackle into Hoskeby. Here comes V. He's got to go! They love it in Long Island.
Julie V, who scored his first playoff hat trick last week, probably the most skillful player as far as dribbling, gets it to his left foot, slides it by Poole, with Hoskeby still on the ground in midfield after that tremendous tackle by Jungle. You don't see Jungle go down and play defense like that very often, except in a championship game. He's inspired his team in V with 5 playoff goals, puts the Arrows up 7-4.
Well, Houston made a courageous comeback, got it from 5-2 to 5-4. And when the champion had its back to the wall, he reacted. First Jungle, and now V, and it's 7-4 New York with 2:33. Strenisser got an assist.
Time of the goal, 12 minutes, 27 seconds in the fourth quarter. The Arrows lead is 7-4.
Geerling, V battling him for the ball. Look at V chase. Holy cow. Poole was out of the area. V gets it right back again. Jump to Morielli. Morielli tackled by Strenisser, but here comes Anderson. Nice pass to Morielli. Not a good return for Anderson. Banks it in front. Strenisser rolls it to Shep Messing. Under 2 minutes to play in the game now. The clock ticks off. New York getting closer and closer to another championship. But you give this Houston club a lot of credit. They really played him. Alberto. And they really gave him a scare with that Russell goal that cut it to 5-4. But New York came back like champs. Jungle, Molnar, Jungle. Not that time.
Trying to be a little bit too tricky on that, but the way New York is playing defense, they know Houston can still come back.
Morielli to Mangione. Knocked away. Morielli bumps it back in. Ooh, Morielli really gave Alberto a shot. Nothing called. Now it's Geerling with the ball with 1:10. Interception. Shot by Sutevsky. Anderson to Mangione, coming up on 1 minute to play in the championship game. Now to Morielli. Morielli, left-footed shot into the crowd with 56 seconds. And the New York Arrows, to the delight of this fine crowd and that man, Shep Messing, are about to win their 2nd consecutive MISL championship. A glorious game and a glorious conclusion to a season that had nothing but highs for this league and this fledgling sport called indoor soccer.
The increase in skill this year, Jim, and players, the level of skill has been incredible, and we have to say a great deal of thanks to the referees who we worried about before the season. How are they going to take the new physical play, the new skill? And they've managed it wonderfully. We've had very few severe injuries, and it's a great credit to the referees that they've brought players on and off the field healthy.
Under the leadership of Joe Matchnick, the referee.
procession to midfield for the presentation of the MISL Championship Trophy and the award from Sony Corporation to the star of the playoffs.
The owner of the Arrows, John Luciani, has won his second consecutive championship, but only this time he won it in front of the home fans. Last year they won it in Philadelphia, but tonight they won it in front of their fine fans here in Long Island. And it was a tremendous game, a competitive game, and they win it 7-4, and they deserved it. And you give Houston a lot of credit too, Kyle.
Yes, they did, Jim.
We're going to get television to join us here so we can make these presentations.
Presentation now being made by Terry Lewicki
Like you are to be here tonight.
to John Luciani, the president and owner of the New York Arrows. You'll notice in the background some of the players, they've switched jerseys, which is a token of respect to both teams. So you'll see the Arrows running around in Houston jerseys as they show the trophy to their crowd.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, the star selection for tonight's game is going to be presented by Mr. Rob Rabbit. Mr. Rabbit, would you come over? Is the Sony television, if you would just face, and please announce the winner of the star selection of tonight's game. Okay, tonight we'd like Sony Corporation of America would like to salute Steve Zungol.
All right, the most valuable player, who else? Steve Jungle. Another hat trick.
At Sony, we've got an advertising slogan. We call it Sony, the one and only. Tonight, you're the one and only. Congratulations. Thank you very much. Off to the right, you see the Star Selection Award, the Sony.
Jungle,
And now, ladies and gentlemen,
Jungle was
the
not
man who has
MVP
seen
in
it through
79.
since its onset, the commissioner of the Major Indoor Soccer League, Mr. Earl Foreman.
What a great moment it is for this man.
Terry, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, not only were you part of this outstanding championship game here this evening, but your presence makes you a part of the more than 1 million fans who have witnessed Major Indoor Soccer League games this year.
Always says the right thing, and it really turned this crowd on. A great statistic, too, by the way.
The Major Indoor Soccer League expresses to you its appreciation as well as to its fans throughout all the cities in the league. Houston Summit Soccer, you won the Central Division. You didn't lose a playoff game until this evening. Gene Sanders, Coach Cooper, the league extends to you its congratulations. I'm going to ask the fans of New York to give you some big hands. John Luciani, we're going to have to stop meeting this way. You have established a standard of excellence both on the field and off the field for your organization. And the fruits of those efforts are shown here this evening. The New York Arrows this year lost with 5 regular season games. They did lose the game here at home. They haven't lost a playoff game in the 2-year existence of the league. Not only has the team won the championship again this year, but John, deservingly so. My congratulations to you and the...
Ladies and gentlemen, The gentleman who went out and assembled this tremendous team, the president of the New York Arrows, Mr. John Luciani.
Thank you very much, Terry. Thank you, Commissioner. I want to congratulate Houston on a well-played game. I need to really thank Coach Popovich for assembling this team. He's put together the best team in indoor soccer, not in the United States, but in the world. This is a lot more thrilling for me this year. Last year, we won, of course, in Philadelphia. We didn't have the opportunity to win at home. We have the best fans in the United States in the major indoor soccer league. Thank you.
Well, we'll present this. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for the second time in the history of the Major Indoor Soccer League, the New York Arrows will take the traditional victory lap.
So to the victor goes the spoils, and also the MISL Championship Trophy. And the victory lap around the Nassau Veterans Coliseum being taken by the New York Arrows and their fans as they have fulfilled their dream and won the championship. It was a tremendous season and a great game, Kyle Road. And I was so very happy to be involved this entire season with you at Madison Square Garden, UA Columbia. We sincerely hope that the fans around this great country enjoyed this sport, and it's only the beginning.
It really is, and once again, Houston wanted to leave New York City with class and respect, and they've done that. But not enough can be said for this New York organization. It's been a great year for indoor soccer. We're so pleased that you were able to join us on your local cable system, and we look forward to bringing you more Major Indoor Soccer League in future years.
That's it. From the Nassau County Coliseum, the Veterans Coliseum, the New York Arrows have won the championship 7-4. They beat Houston in the championship game, and they closed their shop for a couple of months. But we shall return, as Douglas MacArthur said. So long, everyone.
We'll see you next season, and thank you all very much. Thank you.
Tonight's game was brought to you by Light Beer. Everything you've always wanted in a beer and less.